What's up guys, David Moss Jr. here, and in this video we are going to do a showdown between the Ice Barrel 500 and the Ice Barrel 300 to determine which one is best for you. All right, let's jump right in. So the first thing I want to talk about is the build quality. Both of these are fully insulated tubs. They actually nixed the Ice Barrel 400, which was the OG in the Ice Barrel space, no longer exists, and now these are the only two options with Ice Barrel, which part of me is sad because the Ice Barrel 400 was my first love in the cold plunging space, but part of me completely understands. I mean, these are two completely insulated tubs that are chiller ready. The Ice Barrel 400 was not insulated at all. It had three parts. You had a base, the barrel, and the stairs, plus the lid. You actually had four parts, and it required a lot of power to chill that water down. So I completely understand, but now let's focus on what they do have, which the Ice Barrel 300 theoretically holds 300 liters of water. The Ice Barrel 500 theoretically holds 500 liters of water. Is that the case? Not exactly. There's a lot of differences between both of these. Obviously, as you look at them, you'll notice a lot of them, but there's some similarities too. Both are made out of a durable HDPE material, which means they're very resistant to warping in the sun. This is actually my very first Ice Barrel 500, which did warp a little bit initially. They made a lot of updates and changes to their manufacturing process, and you shouldn't see that. Warping meaning some bubbling that happens in the surface, the larger surface areas. It's actually gone away, which is, I don't understand how that happened. The Ice Barrel 300 has never had that issue. I've never seen that issue on mine. I haven't heard of that issue on anybody else's. That was the only potential issue. I haven't heard of those issues lately. If you are somebody who bought an Ice Barrel 500 or a 300 and you've seen those issues recently, please let me know down in the comments below so I can look into that a little bit more. But as far as I know, they have completely updated their manufacturing to eliminate that problem. The good news with their manufacturing is the entire tub, from base to the sides, to the benches, all the way up to the lids, are fully insulated as well. They have spray foam insulation inside there. So not only do you have a gap in between the walls, but you also have foam in between those walls. What that means is whether you choose to use ice or a chiller to cool your water down, these are going to keep that water at your set temperature easier than a non-insulated tub would, and also easier than an air insulated tub would. The biggest difference between both of these is obviously going to be size, but there is one major difference that you're obviously noticing now, and that is over here on the 500. It does have built-in steps, which is a great touch for people who are maybe a little bit less flexible and maybe a little bit nervous climbing up the steps that they had on the Ice Barrel 400. As you can see, for me, this is a good reference point. I'm 6'1", about 210 pounds. I don't need steps to get into the Ice Barrel 300. I just throw my leg over. Sorry about my short shorts. I just got back from a long run. I just wanted to film this. So I can step up and over and then get down and into this tub without the need of stairs. If you're much shorter than me, obviously there's a lot of different ways you can get into this tub without the need of a step. You can just put your booty on and swing your legs over. I don't know of anybody that short that's struggling to get into the Ice Barrel 300, but if you're looking at the Ice Barrel 500, just know these built-in steps make it very easy to get up and get into this barrel. So I want to take a look down here. I mentioned earlier, both of these are chiller ready. What does that actually mean? Well, it means that they have these ports already built into both of these tubs. So you got a high port and a low port. You'll notice that there's a hose spigot already installed. They do have bulkheads that go into the top and the bottom holes here. That is probably the one thing that people struggle with. Either you can sometimes have them a little too tight and it could bust them, or a little bit too loose and you can have a leak. So there is a sweet spot in making sure the bulkheads that go into these barrels is perfectly tight, so you don't have any leaking, but not too tight to where you actually bust through, because that can happen, especially when you're trading out the spigot for maybe the hose chiller. So just keep that in mind when it comes time to actually put the hose chillers on, if you are gonna use the Ice Barrel chiller or if you're gonna use a DIY. Those are just some things to keep in mind during that process. But you can see here that I have this hole open, hose spigot here at the bottom, and over here I have a hose spigot at the bottom, and this hole is closed with its cap. So these are 3/4 inch NPT holes on both sides. If you have the hose spigot on, obviously this is going to be a standard hose spigot size, so you can just hook up a standard hose, garden hose, run the water off into the grass, and drain your ice barrel if you are going to be using water and ice. That's where you're also going to have this cap. You'll cap off this hole on both of these. So these two are both chiller ready, making it very easy to do either a DIY if you're gonna get a chiller, or if you're gonna get the Ice Barrel chiller. It makes it very simply to just connect these. Now let's back it up a second and talk about the actual specs of these. At the time of recording this video, the Ice Barrel 300 is listed at $1,150. The Ice Barrel 500 is listed at $1,750. So there is a $600 price gap between the 300 and the 500. Hopefully by the end of this video, you're gonna determine if this is worth $600 more, or if it's worth saving the $600 and just going with the Ice Barrel 300. I believe, because I've had both of these for over 2 years now, literally the ones you're seeing here, these aren't brand new. I believe that whichever one you go with, you're gonna be happy with. You just have to make that decision, and I want this video to help you do that. And also, if by the end of this video you decide you want to buy one, you can use my exclusive discount code. That's MAUS, M-A-U-S, and it'll maximize the discounts available for you. So feel free to use that. It supports the channel and it saves you some money. But now let's talk about the specs. I want to start with the actual height of each of these tubs. We'll start with the 300 off the bottom, and I'm not going to include the lids on either of these. So the Ice Barrel 300 is about 31 inches off the ground. That's a little under 31 inches. There's a pretty big difference to the Ice Barrel 500, which is 39 inches off the ground. This is an entire circle in the 300. So we'll just look at what the circle is. It's about just over 32.5 inches. Now, there are some armrests in here, so it does make the width inside a slightly smaller. And that we're talking about 26.5 inches inside. There's also a little bench that bumps up there for the booty. It's not that big of a bump. I think it's only about 2 to 4 inches off the ground. And you don't necessarily have to sit with your butt on that. You can actually sit with your butt in the deeper end. We'll talk about that when we really get specific on the insides, but you'll be able to flip around, have your butt on the deeper end if you're one of the taller people, and have your legs up on that little bench. I know it sounds weird, but it's actually much easier to do it that way. We'll talk about that when we get a little bit closer. So that is the inside. Let's talk about the Ice Barrel 500 inside. We'll look at the longest part first, and that is just over 32 inches as far as length goes. As far as width goes, we're looking at around 26 inches wide. So 26 inches wide here, very similar to the width inside the Ice Barrel 300. But the one downside on the Ice Barrel 500 is there is a bench that is built into the inside of this. Now, I get it. I understand why they did it. They did it because they want to make the experience easier for you. And they also want to give you an easier exit. So obviously stepping onto the bench, stepping out of this, I get that. But let's talk about the measurements of the bench. So from the bench to the top is 26 inches inside the 500. From the footwell to the top is just under 37 inches. So you see that the bench kind of takes up a little bit of space inside of it. And that can be problematic if you're taller and you're trying to get fully underwater. For me, once again, 6'1", when I sit on that bench and I kind of slouch down, the water clearly goes over my collarbone. It's not a problem in the sense of cold plunging and getting the maximum benefits of your cold plunge. It is a problem if you're somebody who really wants to get underwater and stay underwater for a long period of time. Now, I find that if I just do like a 90-degree turn and I get in this deeper well, it does have plenty of room, I can squat down it and almost treat this like the Ice Barrel 400, where I'm in an active pose and I just bob myself down, get my booty down below. But you do need to be a little flexible for that to happen, and it's not necessarily the easiest. It's possible, but it's not the easiest. However, it's much easier than doing it in the 300. So if you're a taller person and you want to get fully underwater, the 500 is going to obviously be easier to do than in the Ice Barrel 300. The 300, it's been possible for me to do it as well, but I have to almost like roll myself into a half backflip, crossing my legs and literally like folding myself in half. It's not that comfortable, it's not that practical, but it is doable. I just want to mention that because I don't want you to look at either of these and think either of these are going to be easy for you to get fully underwater if you're over 6 foot tall. If you're under 6 foot tall, they shouldn't be that much of a problem. But if you're over 6 foot tall, that's probably not going to be what you're buying these for. There might be another option out there on the market that's better off for you. And on that note, just to recap, from the bench to the top of the 300, you're looking at 25 inches, but if you go to the other side where there is no bench, which I would recommend, you're looking at just over 27 inches. So this one is actually slightly deeper if you flip your body around than the Ice Barrel 500. Kind of interesting. I wanted to point that out. I don't think a lot of people have ever actually pointed that out on a review, but where your booty goes, there might be a little bit more depth on the 300 than there actually is on the 500, depending on how you sit. And speaking of how you sit, let's talk about the footprint these are going to take up. Now, this is just for the barrel. This doesn't include any hoses or any chillers or any configurations for that. But if we're looking at the overall footprint, the width on the Ice Barrel 300, it's a perfect circle. You need 3 feet, a perfect circle. That's it. You need 3 feet. That's how much room you're going to need. And if you're going to be using a chiller, figure out where you want your chiller set up. I have DIY chiller setups. I have the Ice Barrel chiller itself review. I have a ton of resources on my channel. My goal of this channel, the David Moss Jr. channel, is to give you the resources you need to make the best decision on what wellness products you need or want, and then give you resources on maintaining and owning these products as well. So make sure you subscribe, send this channel to your friends. My goal is to hit 100,000 subscribers by the end of this year. It's a lofty goal, but I can't do it without you, so I'm gonna ask you for your help. Anywho, if you do decide you wanna get a chiller setup, whether it's Ice Barrel or putting a DIY setup yourself, I have videos, literally tutorials on both of these that you can do. You can do a DIY for under 900 bucks, including a chiller, filter, and pump, or you could purchase a chiller and hook it up. Both are extremely easy. So once again, the 300 needs about 3 feet of room. The widest point of the 500, now it does kind of taper in a little wider in the middle where your booty goes, and it tapers in for these stairs. So I'm just gonna give you the widest point and the longest point. So you need about 30 inches for the Ice Barrel 500 as far as width goes. And then if we measure from literally the step all the way to the end of the spigot, you're gonna need about 5 feet. So you need 5 feet in length, not to mention if you were gonna have a chiller, it's gonna be sitting somewhere over here by the ports, and you do need to make sure you have room to get onto these steps to climb up. Now the steps themselves are great. There's a lot of cold plunges that have steps to get into them on the market now, and most of them are movable. You can move the steps around. Some of them are built in, not most of them, but some of them, very few of them are built in. But these steps have a little bit of a grip to them, a little bit of a raised edge so that it's easy for your feet to not slip when wet. And they're pretty big. This is a 9-inch step as far as depth goes on the top, and another 9-inch step down here. So it's very easy for you to just get up and get over and get into. I've never had anybody struggle getting in or out of either of these cold plunges. So I just want to take that possible concern off the table. Now it's time to get a little bit more specific. I want to focus on the Ice Barrel 500. This is the more expensive of the options, and let's get in it and actually talk about the experience inside it. For this video, I left both of these empty because I want you to actually see inside. With the entire thing being black in color, once this is full of water, it's almost impossible to film and get any visuals inside. So I'm going to pretend there's water in here. Things change a little bit when you add water because you're buoyant. It's way more comfortable. Sometimes you can bob and kind of float in and out, but I just want you to see what it actually looks like getting inside the Ice Barrel 500. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm gonna initially climb up these steps, use my hands, put my feet in on the bench, step down into the footwell, and then sit. As you can see from that angle, where I'm sitting right now, I'm sitting on the bench, I'm sitting upright like I'm sitting in an actual chair at school. And as you can see, where the water line would be, like where the edge and the rim of this barrel is over my collarbone, and that is the goal when you're cold plunging. You want the water to be above your collarbone. That helps to activate the vagus nerve, giving you that full cold plunge experience. Now at this point, I could literally just dunk my head down, kind of like do a crunch into between my legs and get my face wet. But if you do want to get fully underwater, I almost always just recommend just turning this way, and then you can, depending on your size, you can literally dunk and just get all the way fully underwater. Like right now, I am underneath the entire rim. So it works. Is it the safest and the best option? Maybe not. But once again, that's just to show you what it looks like and how it might be for a 6'1" person to do a full dunk in the Ice Barrel 500. Now let's jump over into the 300 and check that one out. So this is the Ice Barrel 300. I'm gonna swing my leg over and sit down in this one. So I haven't had this set up in a while. I kind of just left it on my dock and haven't really been using it because I have the 500 down there hooked up with the chiller, and I cycle through and I move things around. But I just came across the video, it started kind of circulating again, the video of me building the DIY in this, and a lot of people are following it because this is one of the most affordable cold plunges on the market that you can get, that you can trust, that has a company behind it that's there for you, and that you can hook a DIY chiller up to very easily because my tutorial makes it super duper simple. And I really do miss having this one set up. It was one of my most bulletproof systems. People around the world have used it and loved it. And it's just a great, quick and easy cold plunge. I actually did a video with my wife where we tested out every cold plunge material and tub to see which one would hold the coldest temperature for the longest using just ice. This was the winner. Like this one beat everything. And I think the reason is because it holds a smaller body of water. There's not as much water volume for it to keep cold. The insulation around it is great. The lid is great. It seals it very well. And I just think the smaller body of water tubs are a good option for efficiency. There's not as much water for them to keep clean, not as much water for them to keep cold. And if you do just use water and ice, it's a very easy and quick way to drain it and then add more water and ice. It takes less ice to stay cold. So as far as the budget-friendly cold plunges go, this might be the top of the list, my top recommendation. And honestly, for $600 less, I would almost save that money, get a 300 and use that $600 to give you a good jump start on getting a solid chiller setup preferably a DIY, which I'll have links down in the video description to the kits. Makes it super simple. I'll even link the actual DIY cold plunge video on this at the end of this one. So if you want to check that out, follow along. Very, very easy, very, very simple. Well, now let's ask ourselves the final question. Which one wins? Which one is better? Which one should you go with? You know, there's a lot of options out there that are so similar that you can kind of pick and choose either one and you'd be fine. Like, you wouldn't really notice a difference. These are two completely different tubs, completely different styles, very different feelings inside. And maybe that's a good thing. Maybe it's good that they have two very similar but very different options for you to choose from. But let me try to make it easier for you to decide. If I had a smaller footprint and I just wanted to have a tub that was easy to move, easy to fill up, easy to take with me, I would go with the 300. If I had a more semi-permanent location, somewhere that I wanted to set my tub up, I knew it was gonna take up a little bit of a larger footprint, but that's okay, go with the 500. If I was a smaller person, go with the 300 or the 500. You can't go wrong either one. If you're over 6 foot tall, just know it's gonna be very, very difficult for you to get fully underwater in the 300, so you might wanna go with the 500. Point is, if you're larger, 500. If you've got more room, 500. If you've got a higher budget, 500. If not, go with the 300. As far as all the other options on the market right now, there's not a lot of options that really compete with these anymore. Whereas there used to be, not everybody could stay in the game. So the good news is, if you're watching this video and you're deciding between the 500 or the 300, you can't really go wrong either one. And I'm telling you, if you're starting with ice and water, both are great. If you do want to eventually add a DIY chiller, pump, filter, both are great. I have resources for both of these plunges on my channel. Make sure you subscribe and check those videos out. I even have an ice barrel playlist. So tons of resources regarding just Ice Barrel products that you can check out right there. And if you really wanted to go to the next level, Ice Barrel has their own proprietary chiller that connects right to either of these very simply. And it's a great option for you to consider for yourself as well. If I was choosing today, personally, and I'm 6 foot, 200 plus pounds, I would probably save the $600 and go with the 300. Just because it's not crazy different. It's just not crazy different. And for $600 savings, I think I'm gonna go with the 300 and just add a chiller to it. That's just me though. That's my opinion. I'm curious what yours is. If you have any questions that I didn't really go over clearly in this video, pop them down in the comments below. I love answering your questions. I love helping you make the best decisions for yourself. And at the end of the day, I appreciate you so much for watching. I'll see you on the next video. Have a great day, my friends, and God bless.